Welcome aboard, and thank you once again for tuning in to the Heavy Metal Truckers. We are your hosts. I am Pincushion, and this is Doppler. And in today's video, we have
another request from Carlos Snowwolf.
Thank you, Snow.
And
if I may call you Snow.
Yeah. And he said, also for pure brutality, try Japanese band Ninth and Pluto. And
I'm scared from them saying that. Because whenever people these days say, if you want pure brutality, and it ends up just being just...
See if you're thinking the same thing I am. Go.
Like, it just, they have one slam piece, and then just...
Nah, I was thinking you were going to go one of the metalcore directions. Alright.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm...
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, it is a ladder-looking symbol, and then a house with a sign next to it. That's what they look like.
Ladder symbol.
Well, I mean, doesn't it?
I mean, it looks like a ladder with broken legs.
Well, yeah.
Hey!
There it is! A piano to begin, but it's brutal. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing.
It's brutal. Wait. Bro, it's the most beautiful...
Well, I don't know what's going on right now.
Bro, that was the most brutal piano you're ever gonna hear. That's the only time you will ever hear me say that.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
This is some heavy shit.
Huh?
This is some heavy
I'm
shit.
waiting for the hammer to fall, because you know it's coming based on his comment. The hell?
Is that a doll?
I think it is a doll. With no face, apparently. Or it's just so dark you can't see it.
No, it's... the face is like cracked.
Did not see that coming. like that pinch harmonic there. Back to the piano. What did that dollhouse ever do to you?
We may never know.
Well, that was interesting. uh, by the end, I actually ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would when it started, minus the piano part.
Minus piano part?
Well, I liked the piano at the beginning, so I'm that once the song came in, I wasn't sure at first. So, and I say that because initially I didn't really care for his vocals, even though I could somewhat understand him because he, at least initially, he was in English. I don't know if the whole thing was or not, but I wasn't sure about him. But as it went on, they didn't bother me as much. Like I won't say they got better because they were the same, but like to my ear, I guess they got better.
You adapted.
Yeah, I guess. Now his cleans were interesting. Like, does he always sing like that when he does cleans, or is that something he did for this song?
I almost would assume that that's something that he will do more than just this track.
Well, does he sing when he does cleans? Is it always that style, or does he have other like notes that he can sing. I guess I don't know, tones, whatever. I'm not a vocal coach, but because I mean it wasn't bad. It fit the song, but it was very different. Like I was not expecting that when it came in. Like when he started doing it. I don't know why my brain is not working today. But it just isn't. What do you have to say, sir?
So a few things to take from this for me. First off, piano, both beginning, throughout, and end, loved it. The black metal like distortion throughout this, mostly throughout this,
We'll say.
was it hit the soul. I really enjoyed that. His vocals, in the beginning, I thought they were very intriguing, and then whenever I continued to hear them, I began to wonder if he was using an old style of screaming, where guys before most like more extreme metal vocalists learned about how to exhale vocals, it sounded like he was inhaling the entire time. Just because I used to do inhales, and this we're talking years ago, and like I have heard people that do inhales, and it sounds extremely similar, with the exception of towards the end, whenever he was doing them, I don't know what that.
You're talking about on the lower.
No, not lower.
Or the deeper ones.
No, not deeper.
The higher ones.
The higher ones, especially in the beginning, that sounded like inhale screaming to me.
Interesting.
Because there was some like.
Well, there were times, yeah, he would do that.
Well, no. While he was screaming, I could hear that, and so I'm like, that's interesting. I don't typically hear that from any kind of exhale screaming, even on highs.
Yeah.
So I was like, is he inhaling on that part? But then
I don't even think I could do a high inhale. That would be hard.
It's actually, well, so at least for me, they're very easy to do until you learn exhale screaming, and then when I try to go back to inhale, I almost can't even do it anymore. Like it's a completely different kind of.
Like I could see doing a low inhale pretty easily, or low, but a high one. I feel like that'd be hard.
It's once you learn it, it's incredibly easy, and then once you learn exhale, it's going back to it's very
hard,
very rough to do, just because it's once you've learned this technique for exhale, inhale is completely different, and so it's almost it's very difficult, and at least for me, and towards the end, it like hearing everything within the body of the scream, especially on the high, I'm like, that doesn't sound like that could be done on an inhale unless he's just that good at it. But in the beginning, yeah, it sounded, even on the high, it sounded a lot like inhaling.
Yeah.
Lows are absolutely solid. Again, I don't know if that was inhale or exhale, just because I don't know.
Does anybody out there know?
The only thing I didn't care for, which he was doing them brilliantly, mind you, but I didn't personally feel that the Tiny Tim falsettos were working for me. Did I explain it well enough?
It was funny because when I was listening to it, to me he sounded like a cross between a mouse and a little kid. So, okay.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah. That's why I'm chuckling.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I feel. Like I said, I don't know. That's why I asked if he always does them. I mean, they fit this song, so I didn't have a huge issue for you. Well, for me they did.
Yeah.
But I couldn't listen to that all the time.
The one thing I did not like about this breakdown, just did not care for.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it because I was thinking the same thing.
And the funny thing is, I used we're talking. Wait, what are we in? 2020? Okay, so probably like 14, 15 years ago, yeah, I would have greatly enjoyed it, but these days, not particularly for me anymore. But the rest of everything else was amazingly done.
Yeah, not like I was waiting to see if you were gonna say something about the breakdown, because that was I could have done either with a different breakdown or without it, because outside of that musically, the song was actually very very good.
Now, what he was doing vocally during the breakdowns, I absolutely loved.
Yeah,
Absolutely loved that. It gave off so many Kokeshi vibes.
yeah. Actually, there was a lot in there that gave
Yeah.
Kokeshi, at least
Yeah.
from the vocal standpoint.
Yeah.
And
And
even
like
somewhat
just
in the instrumentals,
and
too.
just
Maybe not
video,
quite as much.
like video presence.
Yeah.
There was so much of like what I would see from Kokeshi there.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. But yeah, musically, outside of the breakdown, it was actually very good.
It was extremely good.
You know, I even like some of the melodies they brought, which again sounds weird, but they brought in
Mhm.
with the guitars at times too. Like overall, it was solid.
I still love the step.
No, out in the
I
mall.
couldn't contain myself.
I
That was
know.
hilarious.
Oh god.
Just especially at the beginning with the dog. Just
I thought actually saying they're like a cross between Kokeshi and like a Deviloof. Or what's it, Jaluka? Because yeah, they kind of are. But
Yeah.
I'd be interested in hearing more from them. In
I would
large
be.
part, just to see if his vocals change, or if he's like that all the time.
I just there was a lot to this that very like beyond caught my interest, and then there are moments where I'm just like, I don't particularly care to hear this again. But again, that's just from my perspective, so
Yeah.
take that for what it is. Yeah, I think this is probably one of the most interesting tracks we've heard and seen
lately,
today.
anyway. Yeah, no, it was decent. Like I said, it was interesting. The first thing I said. No, if you excuse me, if anybody else has another song by then they want us to check out, let us know. Otherwise,
Otherwise, yes,
appreciate the recommendation.
we appreciate the recommendation, Sir Snow,
Yes,
and that is not your name.
search now.
I hope you appreciate it.
Get a comment cussing you out for calling him stuff. I would laugh so hard.
He's probably was like, "Fuck you." By the way, I really enjoy what you guys did. It would be like whenever Glenn Fricker, "Fuck you, Glenn." By the way, I got this question. But yeah, we thank you guys for watching this. I hope you had some entertainment from it, and we're really glad you could be here. So, as always, keep rolling heavy.